Riverside.
Hey! So check this out. There used to be a fucking podcast was new on the scene. And you listen, you tuned in by like once a week. And we're hoping you subscribe and smash like pretty please. Did you know that when at the GORP show, we bullshit about topics and we'll never stop it, you see? Baby! Welcome to GORP, everybody. That, of course, stands for Go On, Rosa Parks. This is the show where we have a theme, we talk about it, we draw from a receptacle to have talking points. Today, the receptacle is Moonrise Kingdom. The topics are in there. I bring that up because the theme today, if you might not have guessed, is about movie soundtracks. We're talking about the songs that keep the movies going along. My name's Josh.
I'm Brooke.
I am Fry.
Welcome, everybody. So yeah, the music that went alongside all these movies, whether it was the score or just a banger pop album or a biopic like the Elvis thing that happened. Any initial thoughts, guys?
When we were in our production meeting, my mind went totally blank. And normally I can like spout off like soundtracks and stuff like that and songs from movies, nonstop quote movies. But for some reason, when we're in the production meeting, I was like, holy shit, I can't think of anything.
That's weird because you're an encyclopedia. Sorry.
I actually had to brainstorm this because I was thinking to myself the other day, like, what are some of my favorite movies and what are the songs in them? And I had to like Google it a little bit, just a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I mean, I had to do some thinking. I actually went on Spotify and just tapped a few that I like remembered or thought might be good. If I remembered correctly, I'm not sure. Notable, The Crow. Holy crap! Great soundtrack.
You giving away one of your answers already?
Oh, perhaps. If you hadn't guessed, everyone knows The Crow's a good soundtrack. I'm going to mix up these topics here. Pull
I
out
love
the DVD.
how absolutist you are with all of your opinions. Everyone knows this.
Everyone knows The Crow's a good soundtrack. All right, our first topic is nostalgic stuff. I guess The Crow would definitely fit in because that's just pure grunge. Like it was almost like gluttonous. They just threw whatever Alice in Chains or whatever fit. Nine Inch Nails was on it. It almost like I'm not sure the last time you saw that movie, but it almost didn't quite fit. They just threw in more guitars.
So tell us about it. Why? What rings out to you? Why does that speak to you, Josh? As nostalgia?
Well, I mean, the early 90s, here we go with the absolutism again. I think grunge is maybe one of the last big movements in rock. And there's been others since, of course, but like it's dipped into pop and whatever. And rock's not the forefront of the top 40 anymore. And it was maybe for one of the last times in the grunge era. Yeah. That was big for my childhood. All those really over emotional, my parents were divorced songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it actually it rings with the movie because like that other scene that was just for no reason, the Crow was just on a rooftop playing a guitar solo in the rain. Like, what's going on here?
Now, when we talk about nostalgia, is it just like our childhood, or are you referencing like all time?
Oh no.
It doesn't have to be. Like some of mine are going to bring me. Like honestly, mine are going to be mostly from childhood. That's why I'm writing stuff down as we're talking because I don't want to forget it as Brooke goes.
Professional,
you know. Well, I'm worried I'm going to forget my answers. But like, I mean, I'm sure that if I thought really hard, like I'm sure there's some soundtracks that speak to me from when I was in the dorms, like when I was in the military, you know. And I'm just like, man, that movie soundtrack was banging when I was. But I just can't. For some reason, that's an area that I'm blanking on as far as soundtracks I would listen to in the dorms, you know. I just remember a lot that bring me back to when I was a kid, you know.
Yeah. Well, also a lot of the movies we watched in those like 18 to 20 something days, a lot of them were just comedies. Like Anchorman didn't have a soundtrack to speak of. You know what I mean? It was more quotable lines than
Afternoon Delight.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I have to mention.
So yeah, I think.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I have to mention Step Brothers. That's such an iconic movie, and I do love the music in it. I mean, they've got a couple of bangers, if I say so myself.
Boats and hoes.
Of course, there's like a million Disney movies, and I feel like I grew up watching Disney.
Perfect. Forgot about Disney. Yeah.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I don't know. I was watched by my dad a lot, so we watched a lot of like more. I don't want to call that a man's movie, but like it's kind of a man's movie.
Adult movies.
And so, yeah, I have a lot of influence on that from my father.
Sure. Yeah.
So what are you going with?
The most impactful, nostalgic movie soundtrack?
Yeah. Something that just brings you back to wherever you were.
Yeah, that's 10 Things I Hate About You. I think I watched that movie a million times on VCR, and their whole soundtrack was so angsty, and I'm a very angsty person.
Yeah. It has some, what was it, Sister Hazel was on it. Yeah. I remember that. That was a great movie, too. Shakespearean and such.
Oh, my God.
Did Heath Ledger sing? Was that his singing in the movie?
Yes, it was.
So, R.I.P.
Reminds me of
Sorry.
That reminds me of like Flipper, and that one song that's in Flipper that's in like every movie from like the late 90s. Look around your world, pretty babies. Everything you hope to. And it's in like every movie.
Yeah. And that reminds me of that's why I hate Huey Lewis and the News, because they're in every early 90s movie. There's a Huey Lewis and the News song, whether it's a serious movie or not. It's like, Huey Lewis. I don't know how they sing. It's ridiculous. Like every time I hear their music, I think, oh, this is a garbage movie trailer. You know?
Yeah.
I will. I'll say, like, I had like a bunch written down, like Rocky. Like any Rocky soundtrack could get me pumped up, you know. Yeah. Free Willy with Michael Jackson and the song he made for Free Willy, where he's like in the music video where his shirt's like blowing in the wind, you know. He's singing at the end.
Yeah. Showing off his naps.
But so I did Rocky, you know, like Rocky 3, Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Is it East Frank Stallone? Is it East versus West? Or Man Against Man, when he boxes the Russian. And then you've got the Karate Kid I wrote down with Cruel Summer and the Valley Tournament song, You're the Best Around. You know?
Yeah. For sure.
And then I settled on Back to the Future because, one, it has an amazing score when it's not got, like, the music playing, you know? And then you've got Earth Angel, where Michael J. Fox is playing Earth Angel.
Okay.
Johnny B. Good?
Well, okay, so I was getting to Johnny B. Good. A recent video has been circling around, and as you guys know, sad story with Michael J. Fox with his Parkinson's. And he can hardly, like, function, but his brain's still there. Like, his brain still works. Like, he knows what's going on, but his body just doesn't cooperate, right? And there's a video circulating around Twitter of, I don't know how long ago it was, but you could tell it had to be recent because his Parkinson's was still pretty bad. Coldplay brings him up on stage to play Johnny B. Good with them. And it was such a good video. So if you YouTube it, I highly recommend it because I actually watched the whole thing. Like, I got stuck on it. I was like just amazed.
I like that a lot.
And then, it was great. It was a great video. And then Josh's favorite, Huey Lewis in the News, Power of Love. Right at the beginning of the movie. Where
I didn't realize that was them.
He's grabbing the bumper. He grabs the bumper of the car and he's cruising. Don't take money. Don't take fame. And he's cruising around the city on a skateboard. Yeah. I remember just being a little kid just into it. Like, what is going on? I asked Mom for a tape of it. Like a cassette.
Yep. Boy, that scene, when I first saw that as a kid, I was like, He's so cool. When he's just like hitching off of the back of trucks. Like, oh, he's the coolest kid. I want that.
With his vest, with his moon vest, with his button up, to his jeans and his Converse on. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. All right, we're moving on unless anyone has a thing.
Let's go.
Let's do some singing / faking.
Okay.
Actor singing / faking. So, like, I think of Walk the Line. Joaquin Phoenix did all that. Like, he sang the songs. And it's actually really impressive. I was raised on some Johnny Cash as a kid, and people think that he's singing low. He's not necessarily singing low. He just has he's got a lot in his voice. So, like, a lot of people, when they do Johnny Cash, they go down here. He didn't do that. He just sang the song the right way. So, good for you, Joaquin.
I mean, he did fall into a burning ring of fire.
He did.
What do you got for us on that, Brooke?
So, I just had this, like, epiphany that there's what's it called? I think it's called High Road or something like that with Britney Spears. And she...
Oh, Crossroads. Why do I know that? Why do I know that so quickly?
What a movie.
Ladies love it.
But that's the first one that I could think of.
She's not a girl, but not yet a woman.
And she, what was the song in the jukebox that she sings? And she, like, remade it for the long time.
It's
wasn't it Pour Some Sugar on
Joan
Me?
Jett song. No, it's a Joan Jett song.
Is that...
That would be...
rock and
There we
roll.
go. Yeah.
Rock and roll, yeah.
Yeah. That was definitely Britney singing. Did we need it to be?
No, we did not. Yeah, tough break.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But actors faking it. Well, old brother Roberto is like notorious. George Clooney did not sing that fantastic song. I am a man. But even going back to the Future, he did Johnny Be Good. That wasn't his voice, of course.
Yeah.
You know, very common in the old days.
Rami Malek just did it, and he won an Oscar for it. So
who did?
Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, I thought you said Remy Ma, the rapper, the female rapper.
No. Rami Malek.
Remy Malek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just use his regular voice, but I understand that because Freddie Mercury's voice is the best rock and roll voice ever. Why would you even try to imitate it? Yeah. Just use the original audio.
Yeah, one of the best ever, but I don't think you should win an Oscar for not actually singing the lyrics. That's just me personally.
I think in order to win the Oscar, they also have to release him singing, like, in those scenes.
Yeah.
Because we want to hear what he sounds like.
That's good.
Could you imagine?
That's good. Nope.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Well, look at Les Mis, the most recent Les Mis. Les Mis, I think they all sang, right? Russell Crowe sang. Hugh Jackman
did.
sang.
Unfortunately, Russell Crowe did sing, and it was a great soundtrack. Besides
that,
yeah.
Hugh Jackman has his struggles too. By the way, let's not let him off the hook. He's
but he's been on Broadway. He's not bad. He has a lot. He forces the vibrato, you know. But besides that, I think he's okay. But I mean,
what about High School Musical too? Didn't Zac Efron sing? And he sang that in that, and I think he sang in The Greatest Showman too, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I bet he did. He must have.
Sorry, you got way more excited. You have more than I do on High School Musical, Brooke, so go ahead.
I don't know. I love her character in that, and just the way that she's so nasally. It sounds spot on for a person like that. Sorry, I just get excited.
No, that's perfect.
Tell us more. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
She plays this really, like, snobby brat, spoiled, and then, like, all of her songs are like, I'm the best and la la la. You can take it from there. Yeah.
I'm the prom queen.
That's
nasal.
an actual song by her. Yeah.
Oh God. In parentheses, nasal.
You know what's funny about this is I cannot watch musicals, but for some reason the first 2 or 3, I think it was maybe 3, whenever the original cast left, Glee got me, and I don't know why it got me so high, but probably because they use great music. Like they were using.
Yeah, they did good. They picked music good, and they I mean, the production of the music videos or whatever they did,
Yeah.
was pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
It's weird that two of them are dead now, right? That were on that
one
show.
of them, is she missing?
Oh,
Did they
yeah.
ever find? I don't think they ever found a body.
Her body, yeah, they found her because she saved her son in the lake. It was like it was
Jesus.
determined that she drowned saving her son, and then she just died. But the son survived.
Jesus, good for
Yeah.
her, hero.
Anyway,
Yeah, it was her. And
Yeah,
then
the
other
show
people died.
upset.
Sorry.
Me. Yeah. Anyway, who else died? Let's move on.
did
Okay.
you say yours, Fry?
Then we
We didn't talk about Ray and Jamie Foxx. Go ahead.
I was going to say,
Sorry.
did you say yours yet? I didn't remember what you said.
Yeah,
yeah,
Bohemian
skip you?
Rhapsody.
Oh, yeah.
I went with Bohemian
Oh,
Rhapsody.
the Rhapsodies.
Yeah, but we didn't talk
But yeah,
about
Ray was great. I mean,
Yeah.
he worked really hard on that. I actually saw a bunch of interviews. Jamie Lee Curtis is one of the best interviews ever because he has.
That's the
such
second
great
time you've done that. Jamie Lee
damn it.
Fox. Not even Jamie
No,
Lee.
it's Jamie Lee Curtis. No, it was Jamie Lee Curtis playing Ray Charles.
I need to see a
For
meme
the
of
audience,
this
just so
now.
you know.
Don't Google it.
Audience,
Anyway.
just so you know, Brooke and I have already been confused by Josh throwing out Jamie Lee Curtis and Ray Charles, and we're both like, what is going on? And that's the second time.
But speaking of Jamie Lee Curtis, Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan, right?
Did she
They
sing?
had a song at the end.
Off topic, Lindsay Lohan has the #1 movie on Netflix in the UK
for
right
her.
now. So
Good for her.
yeah,
Yeah, make some money.
yeah.
Try something.
Make your comeback. So what's our next category? Hats off, Jamie
Oh.
Foxx. Jamie Foxx for Ray.
Jamie Foxx. This you can't read it properly, but it says huge hits.
Huge hits. So songs
So-
that were made for movies, right? Is that what we're going with?
Or soundtracks, songs, yeah, the ones that were like, holy crap, now we got to see the movie. You know what I mean?
Like super hit soundtracks or hit songs from the soundtrack?
Yeah. Or, yeah, the music or the entire album that, like, a good example is the Gaga one with Bradley Coops.
Yeah. Star is Born.
Oh my god, fuck off. Anyway.
No, I mean, that was a hit song, though. It was a hit
know.
song. It was a
We
great
should have
movie.
mentioned that one in the last
I know.
category.
I'm in the deep end. Watch as I dive
And it got
in.
played out. It got played out
Oh my
so
God.
much, just like the Titanic song. Like,
Lucci would not stop singing it on the trip we visited Lucci, and it
Yeah,
bothered
yeah.
the shit out of me.
it's
I would
funny.
say, you know who's famous for that is huge hits would be like Will Smith. I think he had a run there where he was doing like Wicked Wild,
The
Wicked
Wild
Wild,
Wild
Wicked
West.
Wild West.
Yes.
And then he had,
when I bounce into the Wild Wild West.
and then you had
Men in Black.
Men in Black, yeah. Now just nod your head.
Won't
They won't let you
remember.
But and then like so if we're thinking huge hits that were just for a movie, like built for the soundtrack, Hard Out There for a Pimp by 3 6 Mafia.
Ooh, that's an Oscar. Academy
yeah.
Award winners. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
was a good one, and they won before Martin Scorsese. So,
That's awesome. I love that knowledge. I love that. Then we got 8 Miles, 8 Miles.
Oh
all
my
the 8 Mile stuff.
that you just trumped. I think you have the nuts. I think you have the nuts there. That might be the best. That might
I
be
got
the
the nuts.
best movie song ever, right? 'Cause
Well,
you could still
not,
play that in any
I mean, it's
situation.
not as good as Come On and Slam, Welcome to the Jam. Welcome to the Space Jam.
Which I don't think that was actually made for Space Jam.
You guys,
Welcome to the
you
Space
got it all
Jam.
wrong here. If we're doing made
Here's
for
your
movies,
chance. Do your dance.
it's Tarzan.
Yes.
It's Phil Collins in Tarzan. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh,
whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Can I
yeah.
hit you with another Disney movie, but right after you talk about Tarzan?
Can you show me?
Kendrick Lamar, Black
Oh, yeah.
Panther 1. All the songs were written
Yes.
for Black Panther, and that's another Disney
Very
movie.
good.
So,
I am Killmonger. Yeah, that was a great soundtrack.
but go
Well,
ahead.
Phil
with
Collins,
Disney,
though.
Brooke.
That's all
Yeah,
I
go
know
ahead.
about Tarzan.
Well, like it was such a hit that they said, "Oh, it's going to go international. Everyone's going to hear the song." And Phil Collins insisted on singing he sang like 27 different languages for the first time in his life. For this, like he did the same song like in like at least 20 languages or something like that. A number, think of a number.
Son of man, he'll soon become son of
Oof.
man.
So good. Man, and that was like it was not even fair because the movie was okay. It was good, but like the
You'll
soundtrack
be
was
in my heart,
yeah,
no matter what they say.
yeah, very good.
Yeah,
So
Phil
good.
wrote some
What about-
tearjerkers. He wrote some tearjerkers.
I just had a thought. The intro song to Austin Powers.
Okay.
Yes. I love that song.
very
I
cool.
like just walk around like that all the time, you know?
Yeah, and that became a TikTok thing for a while. It was a small trend for a while.
Do you
People would use
think
that sound.
Footloose was made famous because of Footloose or because it was a great song?
I hate the song either way.
Everybody cut.
Yeah, I think it was both. Because Footloose was a major event for movies. I don't know why, but it was.
Bacon.
And it's
Man,
weird
that's a
that
bad
we're
movie.
living it right now, but we don't have to talk about voting. But
My body, my dance.
the churches don't want us to dance. Don't you remember when Kevin Bacon stood up to a whole town and hey, I mean, I'm just saying, he also stood up to the pastor. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, also that reminds me because Footloose has ties to Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was a huge soundtrack, and it actually like changed. I think it might have changed how soundtracks are run because a lot of Marvel movies since have just had a lot of throwback songs.
Yeah,
It
but do
wasn't
you
the
think
first
that's for
time.
the better or for the worse? Because now I feel like it's very formulaic almost.
Well, yeah, as we progress, it's going to get more and more formulaic. However, if they play a good song, who got chocolate? I'm in. You know what I mean?
Or come and get your love. Right at the beginning when they hit you with it. They hit you with it right at the beginning and you're already into it. You're like, all right. And what's the one at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 2? They did it in the second one where they're fighting the monster.
Mr. Sun,
Electric,
Mr. Sun.
Orchestra, ELO.
Hey there, Mr. Blue.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah. Mr. Blue Sky, and that's actually I'm not sure if you knew this. I saw on the Reddit thing, so double check me. But it said that that's something like one of the happiest songs. I don't know how they rated that, but like it just makes people happy.
Yeah.
So what a great song to put in the beginning of a movie. Good job.
Is another song on that I want to ask you about. So this is obviously a huge hit, but it's a huge hit before my time, and I didn't know about it until this movie, and I love this song, but by the Beach Boys. Wouldn't it be nice for 50 First Dates?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Disturbing song.
It is. Most songs are, though.
Yeah. Because we're 14. But yeah, still a classic. We already said "Oh Brother Roar" though, but that was a great soundtrack, and it was like, didn't it get a Grammy? I'm sure, or Oscar or something.
Yes. And I might have won Best Picture.
That's definitely like, I don't listen to a lot of soundtracks, but I always go back to that at least like once a year. I got to go hear those songs are great. The old timey stuff.
My father destroyed that soundtrack for me. He played that shit on like car rides and shit.
Yeah, I understand.
Non-stop, and I was just like, I can't fucking hear about Dapper Cream or whatever. I'm a Dapper Dan man myself.
God damn it!
And then in the movie, John Goodman like kills the toad, and that's really sad.
Yeah, it is.
Do not seek the treasure. All right, here we go.
All right.
This one says scores.
All right,
Movie scores.
Movie scores.
Yeah.
Brooke, why don't you start? Why doesn't Brooke start? Brooke hasn't started.
Brooke, you better start.
Okay.
I don't know why I Oprah'd you to start.
I'm gonna go with the scores from Star Wars. I feel like we haven't really talked about that yet, and just that's such an iconic song now, and I don't know if it was made for the movie. I'm not sure on the history.
It was.
Yeah.
Very iconic. They're played at every football game, right? The Empire song. Bam, bam, bam,
That's the Darth Vader song. That's not even the Empire song. That's the Darth Vader song. Ba, 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 ba.
Oh, don't get sued. Don't get sued. Don't get sued. Oh.
Yeah. Or the Cantina song.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Don't you love what that genre of music is called in universe? It's called jizz. I didn't say it. I said it.
Oh.
That's according to the lore. It's not jazz.
With
it's
So what about that score? I think it's obviously an iconic score, Brooke. But why do you have to go with the Star Wars?
That's the first one I thought of.
Okay.
No.
But that's good though, and it goes back to the nostalgia of like when you watch the new movies and then something happens that's cinematic, and then they just play a little piano of the old soundtrack. You're like, you start to tear up. Very iconic.
May I go, Josh? May I piggy back? God damn it! That's the second time I've said it. Oh my god, I've said it now in 2 different shows. Let me piggyback. Oh, I'm going to shoot myself in the face. Anyway, Brooke, you and I have the same composer. You and I have the same composer for ours because John Williams did Star Wars, and I did John Williams for Jurassic Park.
Good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice choice.
Very good.
Because you always know in the gate, welcome to Jurassic Park. Like, and then the score plays and the whole door's open. And like now it's in every movie. Like, right now that score's in like 6 movies. So yeah, right? You got to think about it. It's in all 3 of the originals, and it's in the new 3. The new 3. Because they play it every time the T-Rex shows up and all that stuff. And you kind of feel it. It's kind of like the scene where Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park 1, the one I'm referring to, where he dribbles the water on her arm and he sees, see, now you're going to have goosebumps and that's going to alter the trajectory of the water. Well, he's like obviously trying to get in her pants.
As Jeff Goldblum does.
Yes,
he's good at it.
I assume it's fairly easy for Jeff Goldblum. I think it goes something like, hi,
I don't even think he has to say his name. It's just hi.
Yeah.
Just
but yeah, so I kind of think it's like that where you get goosebumps the second you hear the Jurassic Park score.
Yep. That's pretty powerful. And that reminds me of just MCU movies. Like every hero has a theme, and you might not recognize them, but whenever they have their big moment, like when Captain America grabbed the hammer for the first time, and then it played his theme. Once again, tears, and you're like, my dick's hard. And then also movies, I would say Slash. He's in a lot. I don't know a lot of what he's done, but he did The Wrestler. Like he was in charge of the whole.
I love that movie, but we're not talking
the whole movie.
Yeah,
but the score was it was a haunting score, and it was all Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Oh, dude. I watched how they made it, or the movies that made us, or whatever, with Nightmare Before Christmas, and the guy that scored that, like, he's like a super famous musician, and I can't think of his name. He's like all tatted up and stuff. Go ahead, Brooke. Sorry.
I don't know his name. I tried to pull up a list of them, but I don't know. Yeah,
the guy that scored Nightmare Before Christmas, though, he's like he was like a singer in a band or something, and Tim Burton was like, "Hey, I want you to score this." And he's like, "Okay, well, who do you want to sing?" And he's like, "You're going to sing it." And he's like, oh, okay.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of how he explained it in the movies that made us, right? Oh, and Home Alone. Do. Like when he's like dun 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 dun, where he's setting up all the traps and everything for all of them. That was a really good one too.
It's such a big Christmas movie that it's borderline timeless. Christmas song. So like when you hear that song, that soundtrack, for sure.
Absolutely, right? What's yours, Josh?
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was really good as far as scores go. It's a lot of violins and such. I mean, that kind of thing. Like, and scores for me, like it also bleeds into video games, which is going to be a whole new topic. We're not going to go into that. But like, I listen to a lot of video games / fantasy scores from a lot of things, but Lord of the Rings is a great example of that, where it's just sometimes very relaxing or awe-inspiring or thoughtful, So I'm into that kind of stuff. Scores.
I actually really like listening to like classical music, and I'll listen to like classical music from movies specifically to like study.
Oh yeah.
And just some of the best music is from hit movies.
Yeah. It really just gets your brain juicing, and it's never really like it's always like introspective in some way. You know what I mean? I like that. Maybe now that I'm an old man.
Josh?
Okay, here we go.
Wiggity wild, wiggity wild, wiggity wild,
This
wild
says
west, Jim West,
surprise
Desperado.
bangers. Surprise bangers is what this says.
Xenon, girl of the
Oh,
21st century.
Yes.
Zoom, 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 make my heart go boom, boom. My supernova
Yes.
girl. That song, I was
Yes.
addicted to that song for a long time. So Disney, made for TV Disney movie, Xenon, girl of the 21st
That
century.
counts.
Protozoa.
Oh, yeah.
That was his name, Protozoa. Zoom, 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 make my heart go boom, boom.
I like that.
That song was
It
hot,
was.
man. That song was
Ooh.
hot.
Okay, in that vein, Goofy movie, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bing
One
bong.
of the best. Stand out above the crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud. So mine is the only face you see. You're gonna notice me.
Yeah. What was the?
And
Yep.
if we listen to each other's hearts.
There you go. Yeah.
What was the top?
Go ahead,
one?
Brooke.
Sorry.
Surprise bangers.
So is this made for the movie, or is this just surprise bangers in movies?
I think songs or the whole soundtrack, or ones that just like broke out and became their own or whatever. Yeah,
All I need is half a look or half a glance to prove I got whatever
it goes back to
it takes.
"Kiss from a Rose." The "Kiss
It's a
from a
piece of
Rose,"
cake.
as mentioned before, like that. It didn't even fucking fit the movie. It doesn't have anything to do with Batman.
I've got one, Josh. Armageddon, not Aerosmith, but
Oh,
Eagle Eye Chariot, Save Tonight. Save Tonight.
Save
And-
tonight.
But-
It's had to break up
I just thought it was a good one.
tomorrow. I gotta be on a train.
But I don't think there's any way they thought that song was going to be as hot as it was. Like, everyone knew Aerosmith. You get Aerosmith to do the ballad and the big song.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Eagle Eye
yeah.
Chariot, I feel like, was equally as popular as that song when both
Yeah,
of them were
yeah.
like, climbing up the charts. Because Save Tonight was fucking
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah, I remember that. Listening to that back then, I was like, why is this on the fucking radio? But then why can't I stop listening to it? I don't understand.
Tomorrow I'll be God.
A big one for me would be Scott Pilgrim's. Scott Pilgrim
Yeah.
was a banger soundtrack. We've been over that, I think, right? But it came out of nowhere for me. Huge soundtrack. I listened to it a lot.
I got a couple of them. Into the Wild had a really good soundtrack. Eddie Vedder.
It's a good
Wow.
movie.
Um,
Yeah. Pearl Jam.
I'm into that music. I love it. Whatever. You're
You're a very 90s grunge or 90s, what's that style called?
Grunge.
I can't even think of what it's...
Yeah.
Well, alternative,
Grunge.
yes, alternative, yeah. You love The Freshman? When we were young,
Yes.
we knew
Yeah.
everything.
That's also grunge.
Yeah. That song's great, though. The Freshman.
Yeah. Good song.
I also thought of Shrek. Shrek didn't have to go hard.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, now you're an all-star.
County Crows. Once again. Oh,
Uh-huh.
All-Star.
Uh-huh.
Dang.
That
You're
wasn't
right.
Shrek?
Yes, it was. All-Star was in Shrek, dog.
It's like the opening.
And
No,
that's
it was
part
not.
of what...
He kicks open the door.
It's the opening
Yeah,
song,
he
dog.
kicks open the door to his.
Look it up, bro.
latrine.
You have a phone. Dude, All-Star
Okay.
Shrek
So
was...
Smash Mouth just did all the soundtracks?
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. All-Star, originally, it was on the superhero movie with Ben Stiller. What was that called? Mystery Men. So it was on that first, but then Shrek took it, for sure. It was
They
definitely on
have a
Shrek.
song. Well, Smash Mouth has another song from. Smash Mouth has another song in Shrek, and now I can't think of it because it's not Accidentally in Love, but it's
It's the other one. It's a cover
Golly.
song, right?
probably
Then I saw your
I'm a
face.
believer.
yeah. Not a trace or doubt in my
I think that made a
mind.
movement.
I'm
Yes.
in love.
Yes.
Big time.
What about Fight Club?
Yeah,
Okay.
Smash Mouth had a
the
moment.
songs, but I feel like it had a really impressive soundtrack.
It did have some stuff. Yep, they did a good job with that. Yep. A big one
Well,
for
we
me
can't
is
name you the
almost,
songs from it.
But I'm sure it's good.
almost every
I'm like,
almost every Wes Anderson movie is Wes Anderson is one of my favorites, probably top 3. So almost all his movies have an incredible soundtrack, and he's known for like personally cultivating that. Like he's in charge of the soundtrack for the movie, and I usually just listen to Wes Anderson stuff, like the whole discography altogether. Because great fucking movies, great soundtracks, but they're very Indian cornball hippie.
I'm so mad at you. I've had Stand Out stuck in my head for an hour now.
Stand Out?
Yeah,
Stand Out
stuck
what?
in my head from Goofy Movie, right?
Oh,
if I could make you stop
sorry.
and take a look at me instead of just walking by. There's nothing that I wouldn't do if it was getting you to notice power line. Like, it's
Good job,
stuck in
bud.
my head now.
It's impressive.
Good memory. I'm impressed. Where's my mind?
With that-
Fight Club? And
Where's my mind? There you go. That's a
Boy,
great one.
that's a track.
Yeah. Isn't that in Donnie Darko as
Intentions?
well?
Yes, it was.
Is it Where's My Mind in Donnie Darko as
Donnie
well?
Darko was a good soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
Cruel Intentions had that better quit symphony that's like.
Yeah. Oh,
Remember that one?
too much.
Yeah. Cruel Intentions. Who doesn't remember
move on.
Cruel Intentions with Reese Witherspoon, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe, all beautiful people in that movie?
The beautiful people.
Bro, I know we're not doing movies, but I remember like in that movie, I was so young, right? And Sarah Michelle Gellar goes, "And I'll let you put it anywhere you want." And I'm so young, I'm like, what does she mean? What does she mean by that?
In a sandwich? What's going on?
What is going on? I feel seduced, but I don't even know what seduction is yet. What does she mean?
All right, next up, not quite, we're not at the end of the show, but we're going to play this probably at the end of the show subject, honorable mention. What I had in mind with honorable mention was it's not necessarily amazing, so maybe, like I said, The Crow would go in there. But what I wanted to talk about was Prince making a whole soundtrack on his
Purple
own
Rain.
for Batman.
Oh,
I thought it was
I thought you were going to go
Purple
with Purple
Rain,
Rain.
Because they asked Prince if he would do a song for Batman soundtrack, the first one.
Oh,
And
yeah, Kiss.
And he loves Batman, so he made a whole album. And they didn't make it the official soundtrack. So Batman has its own soundtrack, and then Prince also has a Batman soundtrack. That's all Prince.
Oh.
And it's funky, early 90s jazzy. The only one that made the movie was, I think, when Joker is going to the museum, vandalizing it. So that's Prince. And the rest of the album is very similar. And it's all Batman themed Prince songs. It's awesome. Doesn't fit the movie at all, but it's wonderful.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
What about honorable mention?
I was going to say Matilda.
Go ahead, Brooke. You go ahead.
It had a really good.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Rusted Roots. I'm
Yeah.
on my way.
It had some good ones. I always get excited when I
Okay.
hear that song.
I would like to.
I think there's even a Blind Melon song in there or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Blind Melon, they're good.
Is that something's very plain? I like watching the petals gathering.
Yeah, something like that. And it also reminds me, for honorable mention, I'm reminded of just like songs that just happen to be in every movie at a time. Like for me, it was Live had that I can feel it coming back again. And that was in every romantic movie with Mandy Moore, etc.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
She was another one. You know, Mandy Moore, though, she's another one that does her own songs for a bunch of movies that she's in.
Oh, yeah.
Walk to Remember.
Yeah. She's got some good cover songs.
Yeah.
She
got a
did
few.
couple of them, I think.
She did.
I think the last album she dropped was a cover album, but
she did Have a Little
sings-
Faith in Me by John Hay. Like, she covered that.
Yep.
Sorry, Brooke, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say she made her own music as well. It wasn't just all covers. Because I think I had her.
Right.
Yeah.
Candy.
No, yeah, she had her own tracks for sure.
Yeah.
She was a pop
I'm craving for
sensation.
it. I'm missing. Yeah, she was also on Mandy Moore's Fact or Fiction on MTV.
Boy, she was cute.
Yeah, old TV
Tell you
show. I've got an honorable mention that I don't think is like a banger anymore. That we left out like things like Grease and stuff like that while we were doing a show.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have
yeah.
time for one more topic. But I'm thinking of like Top Gun Part 1, where I remember because I used this a lot when I was in like high school and in like in college days, where I was like, you go with your friends or something, and you get rejected by a girl, she's ignoring you, you think she's lost it? And you're like, yeah, she's definitely lost it. And then the girl's always like, what have I lost? Like, just like in the movie. It always works out exactly like it does in the movie. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know? Like, oh, she's lost it. And then she's like, what have I lost? She's lost that love
God, I
and
forgot
feeling.
about this. That's a good one.
Yeah, Top Gun, man.
And Danger
that
Zone.
actually, I forgot all about this, but like the main, like the score theme from Top Gun, my dad was a bodybuilder when he was younger than me now. And he performed, he was all greased up, and he has a video of it where he's doing all the poses in front of the stage, and he used that track,
the Danger
Top
Zone
Gun theme. So when I was a kid, that was
Zone?
the coolest. No, like the score, like the classical.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? If you heard it, you would know it's the Top Gun song.
Yeah.
So he used that as his like song for when he's doing all his poses, and so when I was a kid, I was like, "That's the best song ever written." Like, obviously.
And I know I already gave my honorable mention. We got to move on to the last topic, but one more: Mighty Ducks. In every Mighty Ducks movie, at the end, like when they're coming on and they're gonna be the triumphant. Oh yeah, that's Queen though. But I'm talking about the score. The score when it's like bum 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 ba bum bum bum, and they're all like, you're like, oh, they're gonna here it comes. Yes. All right, last topic, Josh.
Let's go one last. We got two of them to pick from. Okay, we have musicals, so we can talk about like Disney some more, or we can do always tracks. So songs that have outlasted their movies.
God, I feel
always
like
tracks or musical stuff. So let's just cut it off. All right, see you guys.
All right, think of an always track that you haven't mentioned. What's an always track that you could always throw on that you haven't mentioned yet?
Well, okay, one that I think of it's it's a little corny, but whatever. It was in who's the girl from Speed? She was in the Ryan Reynolds movie where she goes to Alaska with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock is in the movie. I want to say it's I forgot who the male lead is. But anyway, the song Hope Floats is the movie. And the song was Garth Brooks doing When the Rain is Blowing in Your Face. And then Adele did a cover of that, and then it went on another movie. So that was pretty good. That's a good song.
What
it's
is that? I'll Stand By You?
To Make You Feel My Love, I think is what's
to Make You Feel My Love. Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a great example, but it's one that lasted because Adele redid it, you know.
What about you, Brooke?
I automatically go to Titanic. My heart goes.
Oh, yeah.
My heart.
Will your heart go on?
But I think there's a really a lot of them out there that have just lingered.
Yeah. Linger. Well, Kiss from a Rose, kind of.
Yeah, you can always listen to Kiss from a Rose, and you know when it comes on. I could always do Eye of the Tiger. Always. I can always, like, if it comes on, dun, 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 and it's like...
it's a man song.
But the one I thought of, Brooke, maybe you'll like this one. The one I thought of that stood the test of time, and it obviously, because like Josh just said, like his was redone. This was redone for a movie called Moulin Rouge. Creole Lady Marmalade.
Boy.
With Christina Aguilera, Pink, Maya, Lil Kim. Yeah.
I'm so glad we got to that because that's a great movie with a fantastic soundtrack.
And now fans enjoy us doing our rendition of what?
Renditions?
Yeah. I want to be Christina Aguilera. You guys, you get to be Beyonce. No, who was in it? Pink.
Lil Kim. Right? She's in that. Hey.
So you just go.
What about August Rush? Wait, that was just more of a musically inclined movie. A lot of anyway. You know what we never talked about this whole time was
we left the
Idlewild.
We're running out of time. Oh, Idlewild.
Idlewild, dude.
Idlewild out.
Boy, oh boy, that was a good movie.
What is it?
With a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
I listened to that so much.
Idlewild.
Outcast, entirely
it's
done by Outcast.
Yeah.
It's a weird. It's not exactly like a complete movie. Like exactly. It's it's choppy a little bit, but it's good, and the soundtrack is incredible. Man, It's mostly Outkast songs, a few originals, but the The way they
Very
remaster them for the movie is good.
Jazzy, bluesy.
Yeah.
Hip hop, of course.
Yeah, it was very, very good. But yeah, I think that does it for us, Josh. What do you think?
I think I'm ready for dinner.
All right, and I'm ready for sleep.
Something.
You might have some succotash. Oh, well.
Legal.
It's been a pleasure, everyone. If you're looking to reach, hey, by the way, audience, if you want to suggest something for the future episodes, please just hit us in the comments. We're on the Sad Fan on the YouTubes, on the Twitter. We're at GORP Show, and the same for Instagram. And if you want to look for me, I'm JR Berkeley at the Gram.
I'm Brooker backwards on Instagram.
And you can reach us all at the Sad Fan Podcast Network. The Sad Fans, all one word, on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please rate and review. You guys watch the hell out of GORP. You really do. We love you for loving this show. Thank you so much. But please don't forget to click that subscribe button. We need you.
Please stop making Josh eat microphones.
All right. Yes.
I'll do it.
Yes. He's going to keep eating them until you subscribe. All right. Good night, everyone.